Hello, it's me again. I'll put you somewhere different today. This is the Plaza Nueva, the new Plaza, new square, and right in the centre of the city, actually behind me, there is the new government buildings, and you might be able to see if I come over this way. Actually, you won't be able to see it at the moment, but if I come over and then turn around very shortly, you might be able to, behind the buildings there, you might be able to see the Giralda behind me, and actually there's a tram here as well. This is where the trams go to the, if I walk down, I think I'm going to walk down this way, because what have I been doing? What did I do yesterday? That's right, when I left you I was in the park, wasn't I? I was just going to the park, and I went to the flamenco last night, which was very good. Apparently it's one of those. See, there's a tram that just heading off. There's a bit of a tram line which goes down the road, which I'm taking you to in a minute. And really good actually, and it's reckoned to be one of the most authentic because there's a lot of students that are training to be sort of flamenco dancers, guitarists, singers as well. And so there's like a quartet, a guitarist who was very, very good. I must admit, I do like that sound of the Spanish guitar played like that, in that flamenco style. I can't get the beats, being a drummer, I just can't get the beats sometimes. It completely throws me. So there goes the tram, and there's Giralda and that down there. Anyway. So to be careful you don't get run over. So yes, they had the four people. There's a male and a female dancer, who both of whom were very good. The male was exceptional, I must admit, and you could tell that they were all very much into what they were doing, which is quite nice to see. And they were all loving it and egging each other on and enjoying themselves, which is, as I said, nice to see. And you got the feeling that this was, you know, pretty close to the real thing, I think. And if you're going to see flamencos, Seville is one of the places to come to, because apparently it's here, and Cadiz, also in Andalusia of course, which is where it sort of all originated as well. So this, I'll show you this road quickly. This is the Avenida de la Constitution. So the cathedral is down the bottom there. You can see down there, that is the cathedral down there as well, and that's where the tram line goes, and the Alcazar and everything is around that way. So I shall stay here for a bit. Place I know, very, very walkable city this actually. So anyway, so I did that, and then what did I do? I went and found something to eat in the Barrio Santa Cruz, and then I actually found a place to have a glass of wine, actually looking at the Giralda, which when it's lit up at night is an amazing building. I love the building anyway, and I could sit there and look at it for hours, which is pretty much what I did. So that, and then today, what have I done today? Today I've been up into the Barrio Macarena actually. I don't know if it's named after the dancer. I'm certainly not going to attempt to do it. And another one of those barrios, another one of those old places, but actually probably the least developed of all of the barrios, as they were, because those are, like, to put it one way, a bit of an old gypsy quarter, I suppose, which had been changed and done up over time, a bit like Triana or the Santa Cruz where I was last night as well. But this one is less made up as well. In fact, so much so that if you go to the top of the area there's actually that part of the old city wall is still there, and some of the wall that's encircled the city of Seville back in the day. And it's, the reason that the wall is still there is because it was such an underdeveloped and poverty-stricken area that everywhere else expanded, because it sort of came up in the world, whereas the Macarena area didn't. So thankfully there's still some of the walls there, and there's still one of the gates there as well, because there was apparently, I think it was 112 towers right the way encircling the city back in the day, and 12 gates, and that's the only one that's surrounding. I'll mention this quickly. Look, you can see what they've done here. They've put canopies over the top of the streets here for people to sit, but they've also put them in some of the smaller streets as well, which are really nice, because it's enough changed the temperature, I'll tell you that. And another thing here, because I sat here yesterday and had a drink in this place, which is quite cheap actually, consider it's right in the centre. And they had this water spray, I don't know if you can see it, you probably won't be able to make it out, which sprays a very fine mist of water onto you while you're sitting there eating. And the restaurant I was in last night was like that as well. And one of the reasons that I sat here yesterday and had a drink is because if I turn around, I can see that site down there, which is the Giralda once again. I was obsessed with the building. So I've just been back to the hotel, and I've walked back to here. So I'm going to leave it there, I think, for the moment, and maybe I shall check it, because this is my last full day here. So I didn't really know what, I was just sort of wandering around and got lost in the Barrio Macarena earlier, which is, you know, one of the ways that you learn about places and stumbled on all these different things. Stumbled on another wonderful little market. I didn't like that particular barrio as much as some of the others over in Triana, where I was also yesterday, but it certainly has its moments, and it's quite a nice little area. And then came down out of there to an area called the Alameda de Hercules, which is not far from my hotel actually, and I went there last year as well. Didn't realise that the other barrio was quite so close. So that's quite nice. A nice open space and sort of a thoroughfare that's been left there and developed. Apparently it's a swamp back in the day, and it's got these big columns which supposedly are Roman. I think they were liberated from a Roman site somewhere. So there you are. I'll leave you with that, and I'll also check in some other time, no doubt, and maybe from another different area. This is let's see, look at that. That's the Banco de España right there. I mean, I love those the hedges, well, they're not hedges, they're trees, and just the way that they've been done. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to have a wander off and may go to the park or whatever. I'm not really sure yet. I shall see. Anyway, I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.